In the news this week, more than 20% is good enough. Perth Royal Show organisers exclusive reaction to opinion poll on whether West Aussies will go.
The Floreat shooting incident, opposition MPs to contact the Corruption and Crime Commission over unseen police body camera footage. Going on strike, WA's public sector workers walk off the job across the state to demand better pay. And later, Dr. Andrew Miller's comment.
This is The Evening News with Ivan Loom and Maliva Thorne.
Good evening. Organisers of the Perth Royal Show expressed their optimism when it comes to attendance numbers, despite a WAME News opinion poll this month showing only 23% of participated viewers are planning to go this year. In an exclusive interview responding to the result, Royal Agriculture Society WA CEO Robin Sermon says over 20% of West Aussies coming is more than sufficient. She again argues that the show is cheaper than footy and the Taylor Swift concert. She joins us this week. Robin, thank you for joining me this week. What do you make of the poll results and our viewers' reactions?
Look, if I could get 25% of the Perth population or WA's population to show, I'd be ecstatic. So I'm really excited. Obviously, not every event is for everybody, but we are one of the largest community events in Western Australia, and ticket sales are going incredibly well. So we've had a great response from people wanting to come to show this year.
The Royal Show has always faced criticism when it comes to costs. Can it be cheaper than footy or the Taylor Swift concert?
Absolutely. I have teenage children and I took my daughter to Tay-Tay. The Royal Show is a much better value day out, even though she was fantastic. I do regularly go to the football as well, and I really do believe the Royal Show is a fantastic day out if you make the most of all the free activities across the site over the 10 hours.
Do you believe there should be a cap on the cost of rides within the show?
So the Royal Show supports over 300 small businesses, including ride operators. They are small businesses, and as everyone knows, costs are rising for lots of people, whether that's diesel, insurance, staffing costs, and we're all experiencing the same thing. So each ride has to set their own price based on what it costs them. But there is some great deals out there. If you watch the social media and you look around and you plan your trip, as I said, on the app, you can find out there's 2-for-1 deals, there's some half price sessions, there is bargains out there on the rides.
Do you anticipate more people will come this year despite the cost of living issues?
Look, it's really difficult to predict that every year. The biggest predictor of Royal Show attendance is actually the weather. So it's normally the week of the show itself that we get a really good feel for how many people will come. But as I said, ticket sales are going really well at the moment. And I do expect that because of the kids free and because of the half price adults and half price concessions, that we will get more people along. And what I'm saying to people, if you've never been before or you haven't been for a long time, this is the year to come back. It's going to be a low entry cost, and there's going to be so many new and different things here this year. People are going to get a surprise. And to get in this year, you can bring 5 people, an adult and 4 children, for $22. There is 10 hours of free entertainment, of trails, of things you can go and see, of animals you can pat, things like the animal nursery. You can have a great day out without spending money. There is also options to buy things, which is fantastic. People will enjoy that as well. But if you would like to have a day out, the most important thing is to plan your day on the app, talk to your kids about expectations, and you don't have to spend a fortune.
And you can read the full story right now on the WAMN Extra News Club. Robin Sermon, thanks for your time this week.
It's been a pleasure.
The opposition has said they will be contacting the CCC in regards to unseen police body cam footage in relation to the Floreat shooting back in May. Shadow Minister for Police Peter Collier has accused the WA government of a cover-up and wants answers as to why the footage has not been released. Paige Reid reports.
The Shadow Minister for Police says it shouldn't have come to this, but he sees no other way forward as he prepares to approach the CCC in regards to the Floreat shooting back in May 24th of this year. Peter Collier says he believes the WA government is clearly trying to cover up why Ariel Bombara and her mother were clearly brushed off by police when they tried to bring the attention of Mark Bombara's guns to the police.
I wanted to make sure that there was no cover-up. I wanted to make sure that every single piece of information was provided to the public so that we learnt from this tragedy and would never happen again.
The Shadow Minister says he is frustrated and doesn't see any way forward at this point. Since the incident back in May, which took the lives of mother Jennifer and daughter Gretel, the WA government have been looking into how to prevent another incident like this from happening again.
We'll see. I shouldn't have to do this. That's why we have a parliament. But we've followed correct and due process right from day one. We followed due process, number one, by not getting involved in the political debate at the beginning.
On the other hand, WA Premier Roger Cook says this incident was a tragedy.
I think the police need to continue to learn in relation to all these issues. But I note the observations, or the general observations from the report, that they understood that the police, by and large, did the right thing and managed the situation as best they could under the circumstances.
The CCC are already involved and have said that the police are not guilty for any wrongdoing back in May. However, Collinger has said he still wants to see the body cam footage because he is unsure. Paige Reid, WAMN News.
Hi there. Are you looking for a new home or want to refinance your car mortgage to get a better rate? At AA Finance Solutions, we have the expertise and knowledge to help you to find the right loan for your needs and budgets. Contact us today. Let us help you to make your home ownership dream a reality.
AA Finance Solutions, your local mortgage broker.
500 health services workers and allies have rallied at Perth Cultural Precinct this week in a bid for better working conditions and higher wages. The rally, organised by the Public Sector Alliance, which consists of Unions WA, the Health Services Union WA, CPS-UCSA, Firefighters Union, Electrical Trades Union and the Rail, Tram and Bus Union WA, took place in Northbridge this week. Union members were fighting for workplace reforms and for more investment into the state's public sector workforce. Union's WA Secretary Owen Whittle hinted further actions for their members if their pay demands are not met before next year's state elections. Meanwhile, the HSU WA Secretary Naomi McRae stated that the Department of Health gave the HSU WA a second offer this week.
The Master Builders Association of WA has called on the state government to supervise the CFMEU following the scandal that has rocked the union. Recently, the federal government introduced legislation that would put all CFMEU branches in every state they exist into administration. Master Builders stated that they have written to WA Premier Roger Cook to make sure the state government put administrators in charge of the WA branch. Matthew Pollock, CEO of Masters Builders WA, said that today the Federal Attorney General announced the changes to administration.
Well, look, we'll be working with the administrator in their capacity. We'll be working and have so far been working with the Fair Work Ombudsman in the work that they're undertaking. What we want to see from here is that we can ensure that, we can take any culture of bullying or intimidation out of the construction industry. Whether you're employers or employees in the industry, everyone should be able to come to work, feel safe, and not feel like they will be bullied or intimidated.
This week, the Cook government announced a further 1,700 apartments are to be supported through the $80 million Infrastructure Development Fund. The WA Premier has also said the state government will be making use of lazy land to make way for more social housing around the state. As the median house price continues to rise, the Cook government are making it their priority to make more social housing and apartments available. Since the fund was first launched, 16 new projects have already been commenced, with a further 63 apartment projects in the pipeline.
I want to assure West Australians we are very cognizant of those critical pressures in our housing market, and we're doing everything we can. And I have to say this, any addition to the housing market has an overall benefit. We want more social housing. We want more affordable housing, but we also need housing across the continuum, including apartments like these in Subiaco.
The WA Nationals are calling on the state government to extend their Firearms Act voluntary buyback scheme as the 10-day deadline draws closer. With only a small amount of the allocated $63 million having been spent, WA Nationals want the scheme extended. The Leader of the Opposition, Shane Love, has criticised the WA government for their August 31st deadline. He believes that many gun owners are confused about the new firearm laws that will come into effect towards the start of next year. He also stated that a number of firearm owners are still unsure about the impact the new legislation will have on them, as the new Firearms Act regulations have not yet been drafted. The WA Nationals leader restated his party's firm stance against the new gun legislation. He also said that the Nationals would seek to disallow the new regulations only if they form government next year.
And now here's Dr. Andrew Miller with his weekly medical and news commentary.
Hi, thanks for your time. Doctors across the country frustrated this week with the news that we need to start rationing intravenous fluids, the saltwater drips that we give to patients in emergency and elective situations in order to balance their body fluids properly. And we're being told by the authorities that this is due to an international shortage, but those claims are not really ringing true, unfortunately, because there's no other comparable country currently reporting any issue with access to intravenous fluids. So it's starting to look like there has been warnings ignored that this situation might come to a crunch sometime this year, and other plans have not been put in place in sufficient time in order for us to continue with particularly elective procedures in a timely manner. This is incredibly disappointing given the number of people who are working really hard to try and keep our struggling health system on the rails. And whilst it seems that this is primarily a federal issue with national procurement and supply and escalating this issue quickly enough, also is incumbent, of course, upon state governments that run the health systems to be across these kind of issues and make sure that other arrangements are in place. Very difficult to quickly scale up manufacture of sterile, high-tech intravenous fluids, which need to be in special bags and prepared in special facilities and also tested to make sure that their integrity is correct. So all round, it seems as though we are going to need to probably reduce some elective surgery in the near future in order to make sure that we have safely quarantined supplies for emergency situations. Even small facilities that might do only minor procedures still need to have enough intravenous fluid on hand to deal with severe allergic reactions, anaphylactic reactions. We can sometimes use 10 or 12 litres of fluid on a patient in those circumstances. So we have to set aside those amounts of fluid even to just proceed with simple procedures. So watch this space. Hopefully the government will come up with a nimble solution, although you don't usually call the government saying quickly we need a fast response to this problem. It is ringing a little bit of the memories around COVID when we were trying to get vaccines and we ended up at the back of the queue for those. And it seems as though we're back in a situation where we're reliant on supply chains that have not on this occasion delivered. Australia, being an island continent, needs to be more reliant on its own production and its own storage facilities of these kind of basic essential items for healthcare so that we don't come grinding to a halt. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Doctor. And now the Raw show's coming up next month. Are you excited, Ivan?
Of course I am. I mean, the Velvet Rabbit's back again. You're going to see Nigel the farmer, together me and you and Paige. And of course, we can expect some more guest people to come along with us. I think Ben's going to come along with us as well. But apart from that, though, rides, I'm not so sure. Are you looking forward to it, though?
I am, definitely. I'm going to go on all the rides, I'm going to eat all the food, and I'm going to have a great time.
What about the horses?
I love the horses. I love all the animals there. They're all fantastic. And now, here's Leo Polisi with what's coming up on 6 News tonight.
Thank you guys. The top stories we're following on 6 News right now. The Country Liberal Party wins the Northern Territory election with a massive swing towards them after 8 years in opposition. Liv Nokiara now set for the top end's top job. Chief Minister Eva Lawler loses her seat as Labor loses votes to the CLP, Greens and Independents right across the territory. And also today, the Jackie Lambie Network boots 2 of its 3 Tasmanian MPs just 5 months after they were elected into the state parliaments. You can watch live 24/7 on the 6 News YouTube channel. For now though guys, it's back to you.
Thank you very much. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on our website, wamnnews.com.au.
Remember to subscribe to the WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnnews.com.au/news/extra. From Melly, Paige, Peter and myself, wish you good health, good night. See you next Sunday.
Thanks for watching.